Hey tubers, I been busy. First of all, I'd like to say thanks very much to my new friend Jeremy, who helped me get on board with all of this. And what this is a very famous guitar effect pedal, better known as a dirt box or a stomp box. And it's called the Tube Screamer, which was really made famous by Stevie Ray Vaughan. It sounds great in between a guitar and a Marshall amp. Even though it's called a Tube Screamer, it's a solid state device. And one of the interesting things is that these devices don't really get patented. The name of the effect box, like Tube Screamer, gets copyrighted and whatnot, but the actual circuit doesn't get patented. And I suspect that that's because these preamplifier circuits probably all evolve back so far that it's difficult to what may have been difficult at times to patent this. But in any event, it allows guys like me and many others to build it. Now, one of the reasons why I got into this was I wanted to practice making some printed circuit boards before I do a couple of things. I'm going to redo a DSI board for $1,500 fridge in an RV, and I wanted to get some practice down at building printed circuit boards. Now, this was the original artwork up here, okay, and that's what I used to produce this initially. And it ran for a while, but it was a bit noisy. It had a bit of a noise in it. And then it just all of a sudden packed it in. So, what I'm going to do here is look through the back. You can see that the traces very thin, and I was very much challenged to do a good job, as you can see, and I really wasn't proud of that, when I was done. And there was a few problems. My traces were lifting off of the printed circuit board. My soldering iron, I wasn't keeping it clean. So I was just really rusty and did a rather shitty job all the way around. I really wasn't impressed with myself when I got done this. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to leave this alone. Spare parts. And I'm going to start over again. And I actually ended up using some different parts on this one. I used a different op amp. It's essentially the same op amp, but it's not a JRC. It's a Motorola, but it should be exactly the same apparently. And the other thing that I did differently on this was, you see those 3 diodes sticking up there? Try to point them out. Those are germaniums. 1N38 or 34? 1N34? In any event, those are my clipping diodes for what they call, I think this is what this circuit used, what they call soft clipping. And before I had 1N914s. You can see that's the part of the circuit right there. That's where all the magic goes on. This is the distortion circuit. It comes out of the op amp. Okay. And then it's in these diodes right here. So what the result was, now I don't know for sure, because the other thing that was going on was that my battery was a little low. So I do have to try it with a full 9 volts, because these pedals, as I remember from years ago, really do behave differently when the low voltage kicks in. Anyway, what it seems like anyways, the difference between the 1N914s running the suggested 2N3904, that's what's in there right now for transistors. This is like a nice, soft, and relatively subtle overdrive. Whereas when I had 1N914s and 2N50088s, it was a dirt box. It was a screamer. It was a tube screamer, you know, like it lived up to its name. And it's been so long since I had a real one plugged in that I can't remember how much distortion you actually got out of the thing. But in any event, it does work very well. And so I'm going to be playing around with different combinations. And we'll do some demos of that. So here's the trace on the new one. You can see that is much better. Nice thick tracking, and my soldering quality is much better. So I'm quite happy with that. I got no blatant lousy anything that I can see anyway. Alright, so that's my Tube Screamer project, and that's what I've been working on lately. Thanks for watching.